Over 7 million illegal cars are being driven on Britain's roads every day.
The ones that obviously drive around and know it's got no insurance, to be honest, I've got no sympathy for them.
Each year, hundreds of thousands of vehicles are seized
So the information is drivers tried to run over his ex-partner.
and locked up at one of the country's car pounds.
You've come to pick your car up, haven't you?
This time, we're on the road with the police.
You were quite clearly stopped at that red light, and then all of a sudden you decided you weren't going to stop for that red light and went through.
It's not taxed since July.
The parking enforcers.
We've got a persistent evader on Holly Street, over.
We're authorising for this vehicle to be removed.
And we've joined the people behind some of Britain's busiest car pounds.
We're trying to get loaded as quick as possible before we start gathering a crowd.
Do not cancel the insurance if you don't hear from a customer. So they cost me 6 points.
To uncover the shocking
It's not uncommon for objects, food, liquids to be thrown at us out of flat windows.
the miserable,
So far, a £600 bill.
Distressing. It's very distressing.
I was just speechless. I was in tears.
and downright dangerous drivers committing all kinds of vehicle violations.
That's going to be where he's crashed.
These
The bike comes with us.
are the highway heroes cleaning up our streets.
He was called into A&E and he's now disappeared from A&E. We can't find him there.
And once you've lost your vehicle, if you don't pay the fine,
Can I give you the details of a removal, please?
If it's obstructing traffic, it's got to go.
you can wave goodbye to your wheels
Don't be stupid on bikes, respect the law.
for good. All over the country, Britain's car pounds are the custodians of abandoned vehicles. Any unauthorised, unlicensed or untaxed motors could well end up here. And half of the vehicles coming through their gates are a direct result of police work, with offences ranging from no insurance or MOT to more serious crimes such as theft. In Surrey, traffic officer James Trotter has worked for the police for 14 years, and 3 years of that have been spent working with local car pounds.
A vehicle of interest is set off one of our onboard ANPR cameras and then ducked off down this road.
And today, out in the local area,
Yeah, we're moving off now.
it isn't long before a vehicle comes onto his radar.
Edinburgh Road, High Street in Cobham, South West Town, the NPR hit on the one over for you under Cogway. You can see that a burglary.
The suspect is still on the run, and armed with an address, Officer Trotter plans to intercept him.
It's linked to the insurance policy. I mean, it could be that it's just a phone, but it's just everything's fitting a little bit at the moment. Stay there. He's generally heading this right way. Need to get a bit closer because where he's coming from, he's going to get to his address before we do.
After making good ground, Officer Trotter is now moments away from the address.
Right, but that's not it. J Tango November 41.
Tango November 4.
Yeah, the Freelander's not on the driveway. I'm going to start following the main road and see if it comes across me.
Officer Trotter and another unit widen the search.
They've come down off of Chobham, across that roundabout, come down here, turn left. So they've gone back roads. But they're not at the house.
447.
Yeah, 4-1, go ahead.
So 4-1, I think head off towards Jersey, and then back round towards Norman to Wagham. And if nothing there, they'll probably split.
Yeah, roger, that sounds a good plan. So we're going to do another little loop round into Thorpen, roughly where we were a bit ago, and then in a bit we'll split, and then just bear it in mind because no further reads at the moment. So unless we get lucky in a minute, it will have gone.
With no sign of the vehicle, the search is called off. But Officer Trotter will be patrolling the area for a few more hours yet. Over in Northamptonshire at CMG Car Pound, Colin is more than used to busy days, having worked at the car pound for a year.
So, like, we get a text come through saying, right, this is what you've got, this is where you're going, and then we'll go to that destination, because it will be all pinpointed on our phones so we know where we're going.
And today, Colin has been called out to collect a car.
Off to Kettering now. We know the guy's not got insurance, so we're going to seize his car now, take it back to the compound. About 45 minutes, something like that, usually to get there. You never know if they're going to be there or not, so you just got to wait until you get there and see what happens, really.
Once he arrives at the scene, Colin photographs the car under the watchful eye of the police as proof of its condition when seized.
At the minute, just at scene in it, and then just got to take photographs now of the vehicle. So now we'll spin it round and get her loaded up. Yep, nice easy one.
It's back to the pound for this vehicle.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah, cheers.
Part of the booking in process is to photograph all personal belongings in the vehicle and then bag them up ready for collection by the owner.
Numerous things we find in these vehicles. The weirdest thing I've ever found was not at this company. We opened the boot and it had 3 boxes in the back. One had toys, one had protection, one had underwear. That wasn't the weirdest part. The weirdest part was the woman had a hat in her parcel shelf so she could reach through and grab the stuff out of it for what she was, wherever she was doing whatever she was doing. I'm not going to comment on that, but that was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Although this recovery is a little more straightforward, it's just proof of another way in which the car pounds and cops work together.
New tyre, you seen the nail in it?
When emptying the vehicles, if they find anything illegal, the police are advised who will come and collect it.
When we find stuff that's illegal or dangerous, obviously you do a risk assessment. First thing, phone the police. Then it's a case of waiting for them to turn up to come and pick it up. I have found guns in cars. Fortunately, they've all been replicas once the firearms guys have turned up and looked at them. But it's a case of you find it, you place it somewhere safe, you let the police deal with it.
You know, we have to take photos of it at the scene. Like Colin now, he's taking photos of the vehicle again. So what we'll do is we'll take everything out, we'll log it all, take photos of everything. It all gets put into a bag. So it just stops the old accusations of things going missing, and it's easier and quicker for us in the long run.
In the end, the owner never came to collect, and once the 14 days were up, the car was sent to the crusher. CMG have been recovering and returning cars to customers for years. So the staff are accustomed to all kinds of pickups.
Actually, to sign them just there, it's just to say taking it away.
Some are confrontational.
That is the main problem. They didn't explain. Now I keep my car here 3 weeks. I don't want to pay this much, 850 pounds.
Others go without a hitch. And a few are there through no fault of their own. Like Linda, whose cherished Scirocco was written off by a suspected drunk driver, and she's devastated. It's left to Terry to reunite her with what's left of it.
It's like losing a baby to me, you know, 'cause I've had it all those years from new, looked after it, you know, and I've just had it serviced, it's MOT, just paid for the insurance and everything.
Her Scirocco was towed to CMG after the accident. Today, she's collecting her belongings, while she waits for the insurance companies to decide what happens next.
I went to pick up my colleague for us to go to work. Saturday morning at 6:05. Just came out of the turn-in on Kettering Road, and car was coming straight at me. And I swerved away. I got all the back end of this car. The police were there pretty quick, and he got arrested because he was a drunk driver. But it was very quick. They called the breakdown lorries. Then I called my son to come and pick me up. But he took us to work. We carried on to work. We didn't go off in the ambulance. But I was quite upset, especially now knowing it's a write-off.
People do become emotionally attached to their cars, to the extent that they name them. They have certain things hanging from the mirror. So when that car gets written off, that could be their first car. That's a big thing to a lot of people. To have that taken away from them and not always being their fault is a major thing.
The moment of impact is seared onto Linda's memory.
I could just see this car coming and veering over, and it comes straight and up at me, and all so quick, and I just natural reaction is to swerve away quick, so he avoided it and he bashed all my front end. And I thought, how's that happen? How did you just... But obviously he was drunk, wasn't he?
Her quick thinking and evasive action meant the car, not the passengers, bore the brunt of the accident.
Luckily I was okay. The passenger was okay. It could have all been different if he'd have hit my side, but at least I'm okay and I'm here. I think under the seat, no. So I've got things in the back. So I'm into fluffy toys and all that, which when my son borrows the car, he hides them all. Yeah. Very sad. Okay, I'm just going to get my bag. Well, she'll be off to the scrapyard, won't she?
Linda's insurers have given her a hire car until her claim is settled, but the whole incident has left her traumatised.
It's all the inconvenience and the heartbreak, and I wake up at night as well, seeing the accident, and, I'm very anxious, and I've got to drive a car, which I haven't driven because it's totally different. Got to get used to driving that. Everything's an inconvenience, really. There's nothing good about it,
Linda's life has been sideswiped by a sad and avoidable accident. Her Scirocco was collected 2 days later by the insurance company. A 100 miles south, traffic officer James Trotter has joined a pursuit that has taken him across counties. The Land Rover he was searching for earlier has been tracked down, now with a Caravan in tow. After attempting to stop it, a police car was rammed and the vehicle made off.
Tango November 4-1, I am now pursuit commander directly behind the vehicle. DRA not changed.
As the lead police unit has sustained damage, Officer Trotter takes control.
Yeah, this time Sierra Lima 2-4's not too far behind. I believe we have Sussex units ahead. I would prefer that we get the vehicle stung and then we go for a 3-car. It's going to be difficult and there will be damage caused to police vehicles. Or the other is, we continue while it's medium risk and await impasse. What is their ETA? Onto RA, up to high risk, back to medium risk. Approaching RA, stand by, stand by. Not gone the wrong way, abort, abort, abort.
Yes, sir, he's going the wrong way. Tom's all full back on the board there.
Yeah, he's gone the wrong way onto the A24. I'm going to sit on the opposite slip in case he does turn around and go the correct way. Yeah, he's north on the southbound, north on the southbound.
Continuing pursuit is too dangerous for other road users, so Officer Trotter must try a different tactic.
4-1, I'm going to try and find a turnaround point and go back the way it went.
After a short search, another unit discovers the Land Rover and Caravan 2 miles down the road.
111, turn location. Yeah, we're already up in the test zone. Still 100 yards from the bridge. Was there any description of the decap?
Real red, activate.
No, decap prior to my arrival.
The offenders appear to have left the scene, but officers are yet to inspect the Caravan. Officer Trotter is first in.
Police! Clear. Clear. It's all fishing gear.
With no sign of the culprits, the police will need to extend their search. At CMG, a driver has come to pick up his car along with his cousin Reznan.
Today, it's a hard day, so he buy a car. He don't know about the rules from UK. He parked the car in the parking. He insured the car, and he don't know about the tax, the road tax.
The driver, who is from Romania, wasn't aware of all the processes involved when he bought the car on Facebook Marketplace.
When he buy the car from the marketplace, the car is sort of the road, so it's off the road, and he parked the car in the front of home. And because it's first time here, he don't know about the rules. Just I make for him insurance for some hours to coming from the way to home, and that's all. I don't know about the road tax because he don't tell me nothing about that.
Cars that are SORN, that is, having been given a statutory off-road notification, cannot be parked or driven on the road, something that CMG's Steve sees his fair share of.
So a SORN vehicle is a vehicle that the owner has voluntarily notified the DVLA that they're not going to be using the vehicle and they're going to park it off the road. We deal with a lot of vehicles that are parked in sort of council estate car parks on the grass verges where they believe because it's not physically on the road that they don't believe that they need to have it taxed. That's not the case. It is a case of if you do this SORN notice, it is not to be on any public highway, including verges, paths, car parks. It is meant to be on private property.
The driver may speak no English, but luckily Reznan has been here before, literally.
First time when I come in here, the same, I do something like that. So I bought the same, one car, and I'm coming without, I don't know, I'm driving with the another insurance. So the car is insurance, but on another name, and they take the car, the same. And I know all the rules because I take out the car from here, the same. I pay for all things. Tax parking, the truck payment, the impounded insurance, and all of them. It's unlucky, but what we need to do? We need to take the car because he's new here, he needs the car.
It's a frustrating situation for the owner, especially as the car is so vital. But rules are rules.
That car is like a 7-seater car because he have 5 children. So it's coming with all family here, so we need the car to take the car back there. I want to talk about this car. He bought the car yesterday. I'm not here, and he don't know about the rules. So I'm coming here to see if the car is here. And what's the reg?
After a quick check, Terry has some news.
Right, I don't think your car's here.
He's not here?
No.
So what we need to do next, I don't know.
Well,
I have to call some company or I don't know to ask about the car.
Best idea, speak to the police.
So I need to speak with
police? Yeah, because they're the ones who had it taken away.
Okay. So we need to call to the police, like,
Yes.
and ask about the car. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
they'll tell you exactly where it is.
Perfect.
And if it is reversed, then it will come up on our system. If it's not, then they'll tell you Thread Gold's got it or wherever.
It's not very often that we get a mix-up where the people have come to the wrong pound to get the car. It does happen. There is admin errors here, there and everywhere. The police might have booked the wrong place, or there might have been a language barrier as to why they didn't know where it was going, or they've just looked at the wrong name on the back of the sheet they were given. The process is a tricky process. It can be complicated to anyone. Obviously, with English being your second language, it gives you those extra complications.
In the end, the car turned out to be at another car pound, Threadgold. But despite having 5 children to ferry around, the owner never claimed his car, and eventually it was crushed. Officer Trotter from Surrey Police has crossed county lines in pursuit of a vehicle towing a suspected stolen caravan. The suspects have abandoned the vehicles and fled, but may still be in the vicinity, so the police take their search to the sky. It's not long before they spot something.
This is the heat source we were referring to in the centre. It's proper heat because there's nothing else around it. It's cold and then that heat source.
But after a dog unit checks it out, there's no trace.
I don't know where he's gone.
It's one of the more wild ones in nearly 15 years of police service. I've never had a pursuit with a caravan driving like that. This is the highest end of unsafe driving that you're going to see. I mean, something that size coming towards you, it's unbelievable that they did what they did tonight.
While the search for the suspects continues, Officer Trotter needs to get the vehicles removed from the road.
It's going to have to stay where it is until it's recovered, but it's going to need, it's going to need a high-ab because they're going to need to put the Freelander on the back and then tow the caravan. I'm just trying to make sure the caravan's got not enough damage that it should be on the back.
But there's more work for the recovery team. Having been rammed by the fleeing vehicle earlier, the police car isn't in the best state.
Steering's gone, you can't drive it. You have to be recovered. So you need a new firearms vehicle brought out here and you need to get recovered. You cannot drive it with damaged steering. Okay. Cheers, sorry bud. Your wheels are bent.
Even, or perhaps especially, the police are forbidden from driving a vehicle that's not roadworthy.
Would you guys be able to get some recovery for the firearms unit? I've got recovery for this, but not for the firearms unit. Oh. It needs to go back to Stonebridge.
Is that the one that's had the...
Yeah, it's had the whole of the side of a Caravan and a Freelander down it. Most the same thing I've seen in my life. I'm just glad I didn't go with option 1, which was to ram it, because I worked out, Molly reckoned I'd have ended up in the middle of the caravan. So we have sorted out recovery for the Freelander and what appears to be a stolen caravan. We've sorted out recovery for the damaged firearms unit, and we're now going to move all these 3 vehicles out the road and open it up to stop hindering the members of the public. Yeah, would you be able to come back to your car? We can open the whole of this carriageway, then you and I will then go and sit behind the Oscar Foxtrots and await recovery. The ideal result is to get the person that's driving it, but at the end of the day, we've got a vehicle that's been linked to 2 crimes this evening off the road. It's never going to be recovered. Hopefully, the damage isn't too significant to the caravan. That can be returned to the owner. And we've denied the criminals the use of the road this evening, which is obviously our primary function.
Officer Trotter will now have to wait for recovery before he can go back on patrol. Over at CMG, it's another busy day, with a steady flow of vehicles entering and leaving the pound. 2 days ago, Sandeep's car was recovered following a collision.
It was like literally very bad accident what was happened there. My car went into the truck, and the truck pushed me back, and the truck went back of my car, and I pulled my car into the grass which is in right side, and then I went in unconscious state for a minute. So my sister who is sitting beside, everyone got hurt with the airbags, and my brother who is sitting backside, he also got hurt in his knees and his head. Still I'm having the back pain and neck pain because of that collision. And then I'm here to see my car and take my belongings, which is in the car.
In order to access his car, Sandeep first needs to provide CMG with the correct documentation.
Yeah, what is it you've come to do?
Need a front photo of the car, not needed. I came here to take the belongings in the car.
Okay, so I need to see the logbook and photo ID for you to do that?
What is photo ID? Passport.
But it's not that simple.
Yeah, have you got your logbook?
Logbook, I got the green slip with me. I'm a student and I'm working as a part-time, and per day 20 pounds, it's very hard for me to pay. Like, I know it's a legal thing.
Okay, with a green slip, I need to see a proof of purchase as well. Have you got that?
What kind of proof of purchase do you need?
So I need a receipt from the person you bought it from, so they sold it to you.
But if I am getting my V5C form in 4 to 5 weeks, it's like 28, 30, 1 month, 30 days. So each day is 23 to the 600 pounds. I can't pay the 1,000 pounds for them just to see my car, what happened. It's really, really, really bad situation for me. It says it went through and
Yeah, so that's your proof of tax, and that's a V62 application. That's not a proof of purchase.
Why exactly it is, I'm not understanding what to do.
A proof of purchase is a receipt from the person you bought it from.
It's on Facebook Market.
Okay, you are going to need a proof of purchase from the person you bought it from. It's a required document from Norfolk Police if you don't hold the full logbook in your name.
So unless and until I can't.
Okay, you need to prove to me that you own it so I can allow you to go to it. So without doing that, I can't let you go to the car.
When purchasing the car, Sandeep was assured he would receive the correct papers.
So it was a BMW. I just bought it for 1,400 pounds. That's a good price for me. When he tried to tell me, it's very cheap and a very, very good condition. Don't worry about the documentation. It will be all done. And that guy, he asked me, without giving me any proof of purchase, he asked me to give the cash in hand. I told him, like 1,100 I can give you in a cash. I withdrew the amount from a post office and I gave him. And the rest of the amount I sent is to his friend's account. So that's the only proof I have with him.
When selling a car, the vendor must inform the DVLA, who will then provide the new owner with a logbook, also known as a V5C.
Unfortunately, they sent me only green slip and they did not transfer me. It was his duty to transfer the car on my name, but he didn't do it. And he's asking me to go to the post office and do on my own. And when I asked him for any document, he said it's very easy to get it from a post office. Just give the VIN number and the V5C green slip. He sent me a green slip, which is in my document, but I don't think so that's a correct V5C. I wanted to see the car very badly, and I wanted to examine what exactly happened that day, so I can tell my insurance company what exactly happened, and I wanted to claim with them.
The V5 document is a very important document to bring into us at Car Pounds. It gives us the registered keep of the vehicle, so it proves that you own the vehicle. It happens quite a lot with people, they turn up without their V5, and we just have to turn them away, unfortunately, and then the storage charges just increase until they can bring the right documentation with them.
A stay at the pound is a costly business. And while Sandeep applies for a new logbook, the fees continue to rise.
I need to pay my daily expenses, my expenses and my room rent, everything, afford from that. Affording all these things, and I need to pay this 300 pounds, which was happened on the day. They took my car here for that. I need to pay 300. I am not sure like how can I pay from this. I have to ask my parents. My parents are like the daily wage workers in India. So it's very, very bad for me. It's like they're putting me in a very bad situation. There is no right documentation. That was my mistake, not to buy a car without a V5C form. But I literally don't know what to do.
The DVLA advises against buying a car without a V5 logbook, as it could be stolen, written off, have outstanding finance, or the seller might not legally be entitled to sell it. In the end, the car was not collected and was sent to the crusher. Mora Motors in Scotland is more than just a garage. It's also a recovery yard. And although some of the vehicles on their forecourt are there thanks to an accident,
The steering's not quite the best.
many more come in because they're just broken down. And it isn't long before what is always a busy office
I'm going to go and grab that Swift because it's...
receives its first call out.
You've got 2 minutes. I know.
And Ewan is on hand to respond. Ewan scrambles into action, heading out to collect the first vehicle of the day.
Yeah, and sort of information I've got there is Dunvegan, but basically it's the junction of this one to the junction of Glendale.
With its picture-perfect scenery, the Highlands attract a lot of visitors. But although there's plenty of bed and breakfasts on offer, some choose to bring their own accommodation with them. And occasionally, it breaks down.
It's a Fiat Ducato motorhome with a clutch fault that we're going to, and not sure what size it is, or is it a big one, little one, whatever. We don't know. But we've got to pick it up and take it to Littlehampton, which is just down the road from us. By about 2.5 days.
Ewan has driven these roads for over 20 years and has dealt with vehicles that have come a cropper on its beautiful but dangerous thoroughfares time and time again.
When you're driving along, you'll maybe see a fresh skid mark, or the grass is chewed or something, or somebody's had a little coming together. You'll see one just up here, so he's gone and overcorrected, swung back in, caught the verge and flipped himself over onto his side, blocking the carriageway. I'm taking a car off the beach just here, straight below us. It's in the ice, the snow and ice. She came down, she was a nurse in the hospital, just finished shift. I come down the road just like we were, and she went straight on, over the bank and down into the sea. She survived. There's next to no damage. The car stayed upright and they just trundled down the hillside and onto the beach and then into the water.
While today's pickup doesn't involve an accident, time is still of the essence.
Living the dream. Yeah, that's us. Look at that. We'll try and do this as quickly as possible. If not, somebody will complain. Well, the key fits. It's always a good start. Almost got that right, didn't I?
Ewan's 20 years of experience pay off. And with his lorry partly blocking the highway, it's just as well.
And we're loaded. Let's get going. Pretty much everyday occurrence. Camper vans on the Isle of Skye. They're like buses. When one comes along, we get half a dozen all at the same time. Living the dream, eh?
With such a big vehicle on the back of an even bigger vehicle, the narrow, winding roads of Skye suddenly prove rather tricky for a simple three-point turn. But years of practice mean Ewan is quickly on his way back to the depot. In the Highlands, Ewan from Mora Motors is coming home with a camper van.
And we're loaded.
And so far, it's all going to plan.
That was an awful lot easier than what expecting. I was kind of expecting to be hunting about every junction between here and Dunvegan looking for a camper van. And there it is, sitting in the church car park.
Hallelujah.
Couldn't get enough a lot easier than that.
And though Ewan did have to briefly block the road, even that went as well as could be expected.
Some people get, a wee bit grumpy and that, especially when you're blocking the carriageway. Often as not, it's people that are up on holiday. Expecting to get here or get there. They've got itinerary to keep to. There's most of the locals about here. If we can't get today, we'll get tomorrow. That sort of attitude, so it tends to be a lot of locals.
It's a quick refuel for Ewan on the way back. With fuel prices rocketing, most of us are used to paying more at the pumps.
We're just going to pop in here and get some diesel, since it's the cheapest about anywhere.
But when you drive one of these beasts, the wallet takes even more of a hit.
It's about £350, roughly, just now. That'll do.
And when it comes to holidaying camper van owners who naturally flock from all over the country, this means getting their vans back to them can be a costly business.
Well, last time I went down to Brighton with 2 big camper vans on. I filled up 4 times on the way down.
Having filled up, Ewan's on his way back to base again. But he's not the only one who's picked up a mobile home.
So Neil's just in front of us here with a wee camper van, which will be joining the one I've got for going down south. So get loaded onto hopefully the Actros.
Neil leads the way back to Mora Motors. Where both campers are to be unloaded and then reloaded onto a much larger lorry, ready for delivery south of the border, together.
Unloaded this one for Littlehampton. I'll put it in the back of this lorry. Then the one big Neil brought in from Glenbrittle is bound for Leicester. So we'll put that in on the back as well. And it'll go down the road. Hopefully I won't have to go too far with it, but who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
For Ewan, it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride.
It's like driving a bouncy castle up in the roads up here. It's okay in the motorway, but see about here. You're like a jack in the box, you're going like this all the time.
Mora Motors deal with hundreds of motorhomes a year, with over half coming from south of the border. If they can double up and be returned in tandem, as they are today, the savings are obvious.
Almost convincing that I know what I'm doing. We'll get this all tied down and lighting board on it, and then we can head off with it, and, get them back home. Oops, too much.
With everything in place, all that remains is for Ewan to deliver both of these vans home, just round the corner, in a 1,300-mile round trip. Down south, following a pursuit with a caravan, Traffic Officer James Trotter is waiting for the vehicles to be recovered. It's not long before the tow trucks arrive, and they've got their work cut out.
Hello, fella. Yeah. So it's a Socko recovery,
So the car and the Caravan, they are both damaged. That's rammed this further away, a long way away. So I think we'll have to move the car first, and if that's not smoking, then the Caravan's going to have to go on a bed, because you can't tow it if it's going to... I think there's something wrong with the axle where it's hit this, transfer all the weapons. Yeah, load that. Obviously full SOCO for that, because that's quite important, yeah.
SOCO refers to scenes of crime officers who recover evidence.
Tomorrow morning, a SOCO CAD's going to be flagged, and our scenes of crime will go down, and they'll go through these with a fine-tooth comb to see if we can, one, identify who was the driver at the time, and two, whether we can link this one forensically to the job earlier this morning. Yeah, wicked, works for me. And hope it works.
It's turned into a busy night for the recovery team.
Tonight has been a real multi-agency approach to it. I mean, we've had firearms involved, we've had roads policing involved, we've had dogs involved, we've had another force involved, we've had Sussex Police involved, we've had the National Police Air Service involved, we've had another traffic unit from Sussex turn up with a drone. We've got divisional vehicles keeping us safe while we're waiting for this to be picked up. We're then going to have the scenes of crime tomorrow morning, and we've got one of our recovery firms out tonight. They're going to take it inside, keep it safe for us and sterile until we can get that scenes of crime officer to go over it in the morning and hopefully get some fingerprints or DNA from it. Obviously, for tonight, they think they've got one up on us, but hopefully we'll have the last laugh.